जय श्री जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम निताय गौरांग भगवान जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय आजानुलंबित भुजौ कनकावदातौ संकीर्तनैक पितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे वन्दे वन्दे
Jayam.
करुणावतारौ आजानुलंबित भुजौ कनकावदातौ संकीर्तनैक पितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ the most benevolent Lord to the whole universe along with Nityananda Prabhu. So that is the invocation Chaitanya Bhagavatam. Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavdatau, describing the transcendental features, you know, of the personality of Godhead, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Ajanulambita bhujau, their arms extend up to their knees. So that is a symptom of great personalities, divine personalities, you know, especially the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These are the symptoms in the scriptures describing the features of divinity, you know, when the divinity manifests in this world, how they stand out compared to other personalities, great or whichever. So when the divine personalities descend on earth, they are symptomized by special features. So Ajanulambita Bhujau, the arms go extend down to knees. Our arms comes only up to the thighs, you know, middle of the thighs at the most. Kanakavadatav, their complexion is golden. Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadatav, Sankirtanaika Pitrau, they are the propagators. Sankirtanaika Pitrau, Pitrau means those who give birth, father. So they are the fathers, or the propagator of Sankirtan movement. Kamalaya Takshav, their eyes are so so extended like the very fully blossom lotus, you know. Kanaka Sankirtanaika Pitru, Kamalaya Takshav. Vishwambharau, they fulfill or they really nourish. Vishwambharau, Dvijavarau, the best of Brahmanas. Yuga Dharma Palau, they are the propagators of the Yuga Dharma Nama Sankirtan. Vande Jagat Priya Karau, and they have come to bestow the highest benediction upon the humankind, you know. Vande Jagat Priya Karau, Karunavataru, because they are the most munificent Lord. They are the manifestation. Karuna. Karuna means the magnanimity, the kripa. So today, memorying in memory and glorification of the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this couple of days ago, Purnima, Gaura Purnima. What the manifestation of Mahaprabhu in our lives, you know, how we can feel incessantly fascinated by our connection to Mahaprabhu. That would be the ultimate good or the potential benefit we all can imbibe or get from. We are Mahaprabhu's, associates. We can become Mahaprabhu's associates, and that fortune and the highest benediction or highest fortune which Mahaprabhu exposed to the human society in accordance to our Swarupa or identity as the eternal part and parcel servants of Krishna. So, as a servant of the Supreme Lord, what is the highest achievement of service? So, with that in mind, we will try to say something on the divine appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 540 years ago. We discuss how this the special day which Mahaprabhu chose to make his manifestation in this world. In Chaitanya Chaitamrita we described Sarva Sadguna Purnam Tam Vande Phalguna Purnimam Yashyam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Avatirna Krishna Namabhi. You know. So this Phalgun Purnima, or the full moon day of the month of Phalgun, it is endowed with all the qualities. See, on the full moon, evening, Purnima means the full moon day. So on the full moon evening of the month of Phalguna, Sarva Sadguna Purnamtam. When the Lord appeared, coincidentally, there was also a lunar eclipse. So that's why Krishnadas Kaviraj says, I offer my respectful obeisances one day. One day means offering obeisances unto the full moon evening in the month of Phalguna, an auspicious time full of auspicious symptoms. Sarva Sadguna Purna. Purna means endowed with, full with all the transcendental and positive and very hilarious, which joyful atmosphere, full of auspicious symptoms. When Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu advented himself, and what was the special, most important feature? Avatirna Krishna Namabhi, with the chanting of the holy names. So as we know that because of the lunar eclipse, the Vedic society or the people in India, the pious, they go and take bath in the river and chant the holy name because it is considered somehow very, this eclipse, although eclipse itself is not, but once the eclipse is over, it is like as if all the obstacles are removed, all the impurities or whatever. But the whole idea is that the eclipse is, when eclipse takes place, then the moon is covered by Rahu. And like when the moon comes in between the earth and moon, the modern science, whichever way, the moon becomes invisible for some time. And when it comes out, then everybody celebrates and chant the name of Krishna. So in that atmosphere, Mahaprabhu appeared, and that's why, as if he advented himself with the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And also in India, this holy festival, Vasanta Ritu. It's a 45 days festivity time, starting from Vasanta Panchami up to the 5 days after this Gaura Purnima. So Gaura Purnima was when? Gaura Purnima was a couple of days ago, correct? Oh, oh, yeah, 3 days ago. So in next 2 days would be Rang Panchami. So it's 45 days celebration time in India, crops and new crops. And, so it's very, very festive atmosphere. But that is just the external thing, that how the Lord appeared, and of course the jubilation, in the atmosphere of jubilation, and so the Lord's appearance caused further jubilation. And so this appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coincides with the holy or the very colorful festival in India. And because the Lord acts according to the tradition, because the purpose of the Lord's advent is to attract the human society to become involved with Him. Lokavat, Lokavat Lila Kaivalyam. Krishna performs pastime. Mad Bhaktanam Vinodartham Karomi Vividha Kriya. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Anugrahaya Bhaktanam or Bhutanam, in order to bless the human society or his devotees or people in general. Anugrahaya Bhaktanam Manusham Tanam Ashrita. Krishna appears in his original form as a human-like form, like in Bible says, man is made in the image of God. It is not that Krishna becomes human. He appears as human because man is made in the image of God. There is also Shakespeare. So it has that truth, because ultimately only human being is endowed with a special intelligence who can inquire about the Supreme and who can understand the purpose of this material manifestation and the desire to know the Supreme. So the whole idea is Krishna performs such pastimes that hearing which one becomes devoted to him. Bhajati tadrishi krida ya shrutva tat parohit. Krishna performs such amazing pastimes. Bhajati yadrishi, yadrishi krida. Such pastimes. Krida means pastime. Ya shrutva. Hearing those, tat paro bhavet. One becomes devoted to him. So that's the actual purpose, to deliver, to bestow the ultimate fortune to the human society. Krishna performs such special pastimes. So naturally, when Krishna involves in any festivity, which may be coming through tradition, religious or spiritual tradition. So when Krishna becomes involved, that's why the holy pastime, the colorful festival, throwing color on one another, Krishna became also involved, and that's why the whole idea is so during this special time, Mahaprabhu made his advent. But what is the what kind of anurag, or as we discussed, so much festivity, so much joyfulness in the atmosphere, and that joyfulness also so much love in the heart of especially Srimati Radharani. Radharani is the what is the Swarup of Radharani? Mahabhav. Mahabhav. No? So this in that line we will try to appreciate the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the appearance of Mahaprabhu is the appearance of Srimati Radharani or Krishna coming in the mood of Srimati Radharani. In that connection, we will try to appreciate the advent of Mahaprabhu. Radharani is the embodiment of Hladini Shakti. Hladini is Sara Prema, Prema Sara Bhav. Hladini means pleasure giving potency. So, what is the essence of this Hladini Shakti? Is the Prema, love. And Prema Sar Bhav. And what is the essence of Prema? Is the Bhav, sentiment, loving sentiment. And the Bhavera Parakashta. And what is the ultimate limit of Bhava? That is called Mahabhav. Then say Mahabhav Rupa. Say Mahabhav Rupa Sri Radha Thakur. And that's why it is described that manifestation of Mahaprabhu, we'll discuss, is the manifestation of Radharani, and Radharani's love endowed with Mahabhav. What is its color? Its color is also red, and it wants to manifest outside. And that's why in the holy festival, inside is anurag, and outside also colorful festivity. So both coincide. The whole idea is because anurag means deep, very deep attachment. So attachment to anurag has its color red. No? So that it is the anurag or the deep attachment or love. When it becomes manifest outside, the atmosphere becomes so colorful. Everything is reddish, pinkish reddish color. And on this particular day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose to make his manifestation. So this is one important thing we can correlate this holy festival and the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The whole world is filled with so much festive and joyful atmosphere, colorful, inside out, And that's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Sarva Sadguna Sampurnam. All the positive, all the nothing negativity, no conflict, everything so hilarious, so joyful. And Mahaprabhu chose that day to make his advent. Yashyam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Avtirna Sri Krishna Nam and to add char chand or 4 moons to the festive atmosphere already. When he appeared because of the lunar eclipse, people just chanted holy name. And during that muhurta particulars, during this sunset time, Mahaprabhu made his advent. So as if Mahaprabhu advented along with the holy name. Janmila Chaitanya Prabhu Nama Janmaya. As if Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented, but he also caused the like advent of the holy name. You know, it's not that name is not name was not chanted before, but everybody got involved. When everybody becomes involved in chanting the holy name, then it appears as if the name has advented. Correct? If everybody somehow or other, you know, even jokingly, even so those who follow the Vedic culture, they chant because it is very auspicious to chant after the eclipse is over. They take bath to purify and then chant Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And the non-Hindus or non-Vedic, they jokingly say Hari, 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 Hari. See, make joke after. So everybody, because happen to chant Krishna's name or just say Hari, Hari, so it appeared as if the name has advented also. And Rahu, the agent who causes the eclipse, planetary movements, So he thought that since the pure moon, Nishkalanka, without any blemish, the purest moon, Gaurachandra is appearing. So what is the use of this moon in the sky? So he just he took away. So that is the how. So that's what Krishnadas Kaviraj mentions. On today, special day, Mahaprabhu made that way. Now, so how important is this Gaura Purnima? You see, actually, it is because it is the advent of love. Mahaprabhu is the manifestation of love of Godhead. So it is more important than the day on which Krishna advented. This Gaur Purnima is more auspicious, more merciful than even Krishna Janmashtami. Why? What is the goal of life? The goal of life is not God. This is what we will, in conclusion, come to understand this. The goal of life is not to attain God, but goal of life is to have love for Krishna, love for God. Because without having the love, actually we want so much, want to have the Lord. Only with love for Krishna, we will want to be with Krishna. So instead of the day of advent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the day of advent of the love of Krishna. Because in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just as in Radhashtami, why it gains more significance than Janmashtami? Because Janmashtami is the advent of the Lord, but Radhashtami is the advent of Sakshat Prema. The Prema has manifested in Radharani. In the same way, on Gaur Purnima, Krishna manifested in a mood and complexion of Srimati Radharani. So as if direct love has become manifest. And that's why for us who are aspiring to attain the love of Krishna, So first love of Krishna has to be accomplished. One has to become blessed with, and then we truly become eligible to attain the Supreme Lord. So that's why for us, this Gaura Purnima is more glorious and more magnanimous, more beneficial than even Janmashtami. This is the Bhagavatiya Siddhanta, we find that connection to the devotees and connection, association with the devotees. So in that regard, the manifestation of Mahaprabhu is the manifestation of love, life. So how much we can glorify the manifestation of Krishna is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Brajendra Nandana Jai Shachi Sutta Hoilo Sei Balarama Hoilo Nitai. Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna Brajendra Nandan, of course, he was blackish in complexion, but same person has come is golden with golden complexion, and that golden complexion is because of adoption of the sentiment, and along with the sentiment came the complexion of Radharani. So he is manifest in golden with golden complexion. This is the only difference, nothing else. Correct. And Mahaprabhu, because he came in the mood of his own devotee, especially or prominently in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So, and he demonstrated the beauty and the sweetness of Sankirtan. By profusely chanting the Harinam, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he just invoked the people very, very careless to chanting before Mahaprabhu's time. Nobody is so much congregationally and profusely chanting. So Mahaprabhu, through Mahaprabhu's advent, because of his propagation of chanting, so the whole world, the human society became awakened in the Yuga Dharma. How can one afford to remain careless to the Yuga Dharma? Engage in so many so-called pious or even religious, social, other duties, but the real duty, Yuga Dharma, was neglected. So Mahaprabhu awakened or wake up. Mahaprabhu woke up the human society from that from the sleep of illusion, doing so many things, but ignoring the real duty in human society, especially in the age of Kali Yuga. And then Mahaprabhu, he demonstrated the chanting through dancing and singing and jumping and all these things. So he made the sadhana very blissful rather than, like a drag. Mahaprabhu made the Sankirtan manifestation very blissful, and common masses could participate into it, and get the ultimate benefit of love of God. So this Nam Sankirtan, the sweetness and the beauty of Nam Sankirtan attracted so throngs of people and just make them pure devotees. It invoked the sleeping love of God in the hearts of the conditioned soul. Especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through this demonstration of Nam Sankirtana, he also established the teaching that Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Mahiram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Nichati. He established, and very wonderfully, he attracted people. These are the two things, two weapons Mahaprabhu has. One weapon is the weapon of his beauty, his uncommon beauty, golden form Mahaprabhu, very tall, and with his divine persona, he attracted people. And Harinam. Harinam he chanted, he caused others to chant Harinam. So it is said that Shastra and Astra, what's the difference? There are two things. Astra means which you throw, and Shastra means which you hold. So Mahaprabhu's beauty is the Shastra. He attracts everybody to his beauty, and Harinam he gave. He gave Harinam. And then, so everybody got hooked up by these two weapons, Harinam and the beauty of Mahaprabhu. Very expert. What Krishna could not accomplish, Krishna just put lot of orders. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. He put the condition, surrender everything to me, and then I will deliver you. But do people care? People are not so. Conditioned souls are so unfortunate that they don't have the capacity to surrender to Krishna unconditionally. That's why Mahaprabhu, he caused them to take the holy name, and by the influence of the holy name, their hearts became so purified and so drawn toward Mahaprabhu. Then whatever Mahaprabhu would say, they will. So Mahaprabhu came to establish that yes, Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Krishna is the most worshipable, and it is the highest duty of human society to worship Krishna. And especially he established the glory of Braja Bhakti, how the Brajavasis love Krishna. So he drew the attention of people towards the Braja Bhakti. In Braja, what kind of dealing with Krishna the Brajavasis have? Sakhya. Sakha Shuddha Sakhya Kare Skandhe Arohan. The Sakhas, the cowherd friends, Sakhas of the boyfriends of Krishna, they climb on his shoulder out of Sakhya means, what is Dashya Sakhya? Sakhya means, Sakhya, what you call, Sakhya means, like, Dashya means with the mood of service. Sakha means friend, yeah, friendship. So friends of Krishna, they treat him like he's their equal. And they say, out of their adhikar, in some competition in fighting, when they defeat Krishna, and Krishna becomes defeated, then he has to become horse, or he has to take the victorious cowherd boy or friend on his shoulder. And so this is how the sakhas, in pure friendship sentiment, they climb the shoulder of Krishna, the back of Krishna. And then they say, Tumi kon bada log? Tumi kon bada log? You are not any bigger than me, or greater than me, or superior to me. Tumi amisam, you are equal to me. Priya yadi man kari kare bharsana. The beloved gopis, by expressing their sulky mood, man, and they chastise Krishna and find faults with him. And akshep means put so much complaint and find faults with him. And Krishna loves it so much. He's more pleased hearing the accusations and fault finding by the gopis than the sweet, glorious prayers in glorification of him in the Vedas, especially Radharani. So just imagine if this insulting or rebuking and all these things by the gopis in their pure love are so much appreciated and so much admired by Krishna. So can you imagine that how much loving or positive expressions must be admired by him, even so the especially Radha Krishna Nikunja Leela. And that Rasa Madhuri, the sweetness of Radha Krishna's conjugal affairs. He he made it possible uh, to come to understand and appreciate the glory of Radha Krishna's conjugal affairs, because and the devotion to them ultimately will cause the highest fortune for the human being. So that unprecedented fortune of the highest level of service of Godhead, which was not made available to the people of previous ages. Mahaprabhu came and bestowed that rarest fortune to the common people, fallen, the highest level of treasure. So today we will try to appreciate what is that highest treasure which Mahaprabhu chose to give to the most fallen people of this Kali Yuga. That's why his pranam mantra says, Namo Mahavadanyaya. He's the most magnanimous. Mahavadanyaya. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Because he bestowed the rarest or the highest level of Krishna Prema to the lowest human beings like us. So what is that? That's why Prabodhananda Saraswati describes in his glorification of Mahaprabhu, and especially the glorification of the gifts of Mahaprabhu to the human society, where he says, four things. He points out the four unique contribution of Mahaprabhu. First, what do you say? Prema. Prema namad bhutarth shravan path gata kasya namna mahimna. He says, had anyone even heard of something known as prema? Like prema pumartho mahan. The highest goal of the human endeavor is love of Krishna. But had anyone even heard of something known as prema as the ultimate aim of mankind? Prema namad bhutata shravana pathagata. Nobody heard. Kashya namna mahimna. Whoever, did anyone know of the divine power of the holy name? Then, had anyone entered the sweet, charming forest of Vrindavan? Kashya Vrindavana Vipina Mahamadhurishu Pravesha. Whoever entered the sweet, sweet, charming forest of Vrindavan. And ultimately, which will have focus today. Did anyone know Sri Radha's? Did anybody know really Srimati Radharani? Is the embodiment of the highest transcendental ecstasy. Radha Krishna Pranay Vikritir. Ladini Shakti Asmad. Who is Radharani? Krishna Prem Pranay Vikriti. The embodiment of the highest transcendental ecstasy. When ecstasy takes place, it transforms, mood, sentiments, how so much. The personification of the furthest or the highest ultimate reaches of the sweetness of conjugal love is supremely worshipable. Did anybody know? Did anyone know Sri Radharani is the embodiment of the highest transcendental ecstasy, the personification of the furthest reaches of the sweetness of conjugal love is supremely worshipable. That is Radha Dashyam. The lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, or to attain this, made service Sudar. Sri Radha Dashyam is the supremely worshipful, worthy of the fullest limit of loving adoration, only due to the absolute compassion of Sri Caitanya Chandra. Were these rarest gems discovered, found shimmering in the darkness of Kali Yuga, lit by the moonlight of his benevolence. So this Ekas Chaitanya Chandra hai. So this shloka if one memorizes, then it just captures the whole purpose of and the benediction of Mahaprabhu. प्रेमानामाद्भुतार्थ श्रवण पथगत कश्य नाम महिम्न को वेत्ता कश्य वृंदावन विपिन महामाधुरीषु प्रवेश को वा जानाति राधाम परम रस चमत्कार माधुर्य सीमा एकश्चैतन्य चंद्र है परम करुणया सर्वमाविष्टकार. So we can say that keeping aside or discarding this anatma dharma artha kama moksha is established in the Vedic tradition, because Vedic tradition is designed to eventually cause the conditioned souls through the platform of dharma, religiosity, through satsang, to become established in the param dharma or atma dharma or bhagavat dharma. Attaining the supreme, that was the goal. Moksha means becoming free from the cycle of birth and death. People did bhajan also, but the goal of bhajan was to attain moksha or to attain the supreme Vaikuntha Gati, Golok Dham Gati, etc. But that is not the ultimate thing. Ultimate thing is love of God. And that's why prema pumaltho mahan. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu matamidam tatradharuna parato. Mahaprabhu established it. Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesh Tanayas Tadham Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachit Upasana Brajavadhu Vargena Ya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumaltho Mahan Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradharana Para. So we have the highest regard for this because this is the opinion of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Prema Pumaltho Mahan, based on the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is the supreme worshipable deity, so is his abode Vrindavan. Ramya Kachit Upasana. The mode of worship is demonstrated by the gopis, is the highest mode of worship. So, because it brings the highest joy to Krishna. So, the mode of worship which brings the highest joy to Krishna. But our participation in the process of bringing highest joy to Krishna, our role is to become assistant to those who bring the highest joy to Krishna, rather than we directly, independently try to bring joy to Krishna. Our role and the opportunity, our adhikar, and in accordance to our identity, the highest perfection of our human potential is to attain the maid servanthood of Srimati Radharani, the highest gopi, the gopi who brings the fullest or overwhelming joy to Krishna. And by the mercy of Srimati Radharani, we become eligible to experience the highest possible sweetness of Krishna. Directly, we cannot experience the sweetness of Krishna directly, but by the inconceivable mercy of Radharani, she makes us experience, when we become so much attached to the service of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet, and by her inconceivable mercy, she makes us experience what she experiences in union or in connection with Krishna, in her conjugal dealing with Krishna. Radharani experiences directly the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Ras Gandha of Krishna, experiencing the beautiful voice of Krishna, the flute, Sparsha, most enchanting, most hilarious, blissful touch of Krishna, experiencing the beauty of Krishna, of his rupa, of his form, experiencing the melo, experiencing the nectar of Krishna's adhara. Adhara means lips, and experiencing the most intoxicating fragrance of Krishna's body. So all the senses of Radharani experience the objects of those senses that are in that are Krishna connected. Krishna's form, Krishna's touch, Krishna's nectar of his lips, and such. And it is so overwhelming. Radharani experiences, and those who become devoted to Srimati Radharani, they also get to experience by her causeless mercy. So, how rare is how superlative is the fortune of Brajavasis, only when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when people came to know about the pastime places of Krishna, and the sweetness of Krishna, and sweetness of the exchange of love between the Brajvasis and Krishna. How Krishna is so subjugated by the love of Krishna, by the love of the Brajvasis. Especially we can say the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought the like the highest attainable abode, Golok Vrindavan, brought in unison. The vast difference between Golok Vrindavan and the common masses of this earth, somehow through his manifestation, through his advent, he has connected Golok Vrindavan to the bankrupt, the highest fortune connected to the bankrupt people of this world like us. So in that light, we should appreciate the Mahaprabhu connection to us. So this bringing out or exposing or revealing the sweet glory of Braj or Vrindavan Dham and the unique nature of Brajvasis and their fortune because of their pure love for Krishna. And ultimately, the glory of Radharani. Radhara Mahima Prema Rasa Sima Jagate Janate Ke. So, this Radha Tattva, the bringing, exposing, revealing the glory of Bhava Radhika Madhuri, the sweetness and the glory of Radharani's love for Krishna. Bhava Radhika Madhuri, Krishna becomes so attracted, enchanted by it, that in order to experience the sweetness of Radharani's sentiment, he could not do as Shyam Sundar. So first of all, he himself took the form and the mood, the sentiment, and along with the sentiment came the complexion of Radharani. And he's revealing the glories of Radharani's love. So this Radha Tattva is the highest gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, Shukadeva Goswami described it. The fortune of these Brajvasis is so amazing. He finds no words to describe the limitless fortune of Brajvasis. Comparatively, he says, Yatpad pansur bahujanma krichrato dhritatma bhiryogi bhirapyalabhya sa eva yadrig vishaya swayam stitah kim varnyate dishtamato brajaukasam. In order to get a dust particle of the lotus feet of Krishna, Yatpad Pansur Bahu Janma Krichato, the most qualified people in the human society or Vedic society, the yogis, the jnanis, the meditators, those who have with tremendous self-control, sense control, mind control, breathing control, very difficult, correct? So the most qualified people, in spite of their endeavors for thousands and thousands of lifetimes, they are not able to attain the dust particle of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dhritatma bhir, yogi bhir, api alabhya. Alabhya means that they remain deprived, they don't get it. In spite of so much endeavor through their breath control, mind control, sense control, meditation, trance and everything, they api alabhya. That very rare or most difficult to attain Supreme Personality of Godhead. Saiva yadrig vishaya swayam sthitah. The person who is unattainable by the most qualified people in the human society, like the yogis, jnanis, dhyanis, in spite of their endeavor for thousands of years, he remains unattainable. That such a rare, unattainable person, even by the most qualified people in human society, he has himself made himself available as the object of the senses of the Brajavasis. Saiva yadrik vishaya swayam sthitah. Krishna is so much bound by the purest love of the Brajavasis. Saiva yadrik vishaya swayam sthitah. He himself has become available or very much become attached to the association of the Brajavasis. Shukdev Goswami says, Kim varnyate dishtamato brajokasam. What is the fortune? Kimber, how to describe? What can I describe? Such uncommon, such limitless, such incomparable fortune of the Brajavasis. Correct? So among the Brajavasis, then the glory of Srimati Radharani is the highest. The highest love is of that of Radharani. So the living entity or sadhak in its ultimate progress or limit, the status which one can reach, the highest limit of that is what Mahaprabhu says, Radha Dashyam. Kova janati radham param rasa chamatkar madhurya simam. Who knew about the glory of Radharani and the great fortune, the highest fortune available, that is to take shelter of Radharani's lotus feet. Why? Because that fortune will make one, by attaining the fortune of Radha Dashyam, or the maid servanthood of Srimati Radharani, one gets to experience the highest level of the sweetness of Krishna. So Mahaprabhu has, that is only means, because for the conditioned souls, us, our service mode is not Swatantramai. We don't independently deal with Krishna. Our seva or our service mode is through Anugatya, in subservience to those who are directly in the service of Srimati Radharani. So that's why I say Lalita, Vishakha, Adi, Jata Sakhi Vrinda. Agyaya Karibo Seva Charana Ravinda. So that is the gift of Mahaprabhu. And it is so rare, just as Krishna appears in this universe once in the lifetime, of once in a day of Brahma, and 24 hours of Brahma is 864 billion years. 8.64 billion, 864 crores, 8.64 billion years. That's a very long time. Somehow or other, we are born during this age of Mahaprabhu's advent. So we can think of ourselves as very, very fortunate. We are connected to Mahaprabhu's parampara in his Siksha and the Kripa. And So we must find our attraction towards this magnanimity of Mahaprabhu, the kind of love and the magnanimous nature of Mahaprabhu. We can appreciate. The gift which was never bestowed upon the human society, Mahaprabhu has opened it. He has profusely and very openly giving to the whole society. What a fortune that the most fallen living entities of Kali Yuga, Mahaprabhu has opened the door, caused the fortune of the most wretched human beings to the level of Sri Radha Dashyam. Actually, Mahaprabhu and his associates, all the Acharyas, Goswamis, they have taken up this manobhishta, this work of fulfilling the desire of Mahaprabhu. And it is so profusely distributed and there is a speciality. Of course, all the incarnations of Krishna, they are all merciful. They bring all the great fortune to the human society. But the way Mahaprabhu distributed and demonstrated the distribution of this rarest fortune of Radha Dashyam, like a mad man, and like a king, who is very generous. Then anybody who comes to the king and for his any needs, then he fulfills. Okay, anybody comes, give everybody whatever they want. But sometimes the king, under some influence, he comes under the influence and he say, "Oh, today I will just distribute myself," as if he has become intoxicated. So under the influence of that intoxication, he opens his treasure, and he is giving the most precious gems and jewels and diamonds, whatever, to the most wretched poor person, somebody who is begging or somebody sweeper. And it is so precious. He is giving, not by qualification of any sort, but whosoever is ready. He distributed this treasure of love of Godhead in the form of Radha Dashyam, which has remained very difficult or very inaccessible even to Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva even. And very patiently and very desiringly, very with patience, with a lot of patience, and but with lot of passion, both. It's not he became those who didn't take it, he just chastised them and just no. He just with lot of patience and with lot of passion he gave to the most common people. And his associates, Mahaprabhu associates, they continued the work of Mahaprabhu. They went door to door and in every town and village now, all over the world. The mercy of Mahaprabhu and his manobhishta, his aspiration to give the highest gift to the lowest fallen condition human society is being fulfilled today. And today we are celebrating this advent of Mahaprabhu. And the important thing, how, because today recalling how Mahaprabhu's advent really helped the human society, or the influence of Mahaprabhu, recalling that past time, then we will conclude today and ask some questions. Unlimited glory of Mahaprabhu. Our path of devotion is Raganuga Bhakti. Mahaprabhu has brought this Braja Bhakti, the spontaneous devotion towards Krishna, because that is the real nature of bhakti. When we perform Vaidhi Bhakti after taking initiation and doing Nam Bhajan, Shravan Kirtan, etc., and the process, Adav Shuddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha, Tatha Bhajan Kriya, then Anartha Nivitti, Nishtha Ruchi, Asakti, etc., love, all this process. The process is there. Following the rules and regulations and different sorts, deconditioning ourselves. So Vaidhi Bhakti is basically deconditioning. The spontaneity, spontaneous bhakti means where we are naturally become incessantly inclined toward remembering and glorifying the Supreme Lord. So that is called Raganuga Bhajan. And the main principle in to achieve the status of Raganuga Bhajan, from Vaidhi Bhakti to Raganuga Bhakti, the main ingredient is Kripa. Without Kripa, without the mercy of those who are endowed with that spontaneity towards the Lord, one cannot come to the platform of Raganuga Bhakti. So those who are endowed with that Kripa, who are they? Our Guru Varga, the very advanced Vaishnavas, Radharani, of course, Krishna, all our bhajan, or we glorify them to attain that mercy. Of course, as we are very much conversant with the Vaidhi Bhakti, in the Vaidhi Bhakti, what happens? We purify ourselves. We proceed towards the Supreme Lord to attain the Supreme. It's a sadhana, correct? So, lot of endeavor, lot of struggle in Vaidhi Bhakti because of our wrong conditioning. We try to decondition ourselves from the wrong and become engaged even up to 24/7. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Different aspects of performing devotion. Different glimpses of bhakti. In Nauda Bhakti, then 64 aspects of devotional services described in Bhakti Samsindhu. The purpose is to move towards the Supreme and attaining the Supreme. That process is there. But in Raganuga Bhakti, mercy alone will work. Without Kripa, there is no other means. So that Kripa, the embodiment of all Kripa, Karuna Mai, Karuna Bharite. The embodiment of all Kripa is Srimati Radharani. She is the source from whom the karuna or the kripa manifests. That's why Mahaprabhu, when he came, he really wanted that why the living entity is already, they are, in the Kali Yuga, they are already bankrupt. Vaidhi Bhakti and rules, regulation, all these things, they are very, very difficult for people to take part. How many people even join this such a disciplinary performance of Vaidhi Bhakti or sadhaka? When we join Krishna consciousness, it's a tremendous, tremendous transformation in our external behavior and our lifestyle, eating habits, and our scheduling the day, getting up 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and all this means. Just think of the external transformation. Of course, very hilarious because of the group. We feel very enthusiastic, and still it's a lot of struggle. That's what I mean to say. But when we are connected to the Kripa, source of Kripa, Srimati Radharani, that is the main thing. So in Raganuga Bhakti, that Kripa is very much hankered after. And that Kripa, that Kripa, the treasure of that Kripa is with Radharani. Let us understand this. And that Kripa is not in the treasure of even Krishna. Because Krishna bestows Kripa, but it is not unconditional Kripa. This is a Bhagavati Siddhanta. Unconditional mercy is coming from a devotee. Because when Krishna wants to bestow mercy, he sees that he is eligible or not. So Krishna's mercy, he has to feel, somebody has to qualify to receive Krishna's mercy. But the mercy of the devotee, in our lives, the mercy of the devotee came by the special endeavor of the devotee. When devotees come in our life, they don't think whether we are qualified or not, whether we have proper attitude or not. So what Krishna is not able to do, jahan na pahunche Ravi, taha pahunche Kavi. Devotees become such instrument to bring the kripa of Krishna. So devotees are the repository of Krishna's kripa. But Radharani is the embodiment of all the kripa. Krishna is not the embodiment of all the kripa, because Radharani is. Kripa hi kevalam. How the kripa is bestowed? The kripa is bestowed if somebody sees the misery of a miserable person and his heart melts. When the heart melts, and if the person does something to remove the misery of the miserable person, there is kripa, isn't it? So in order to bestow kripa, one has to see the misery of a miserable person and to remove that misery or the pain. If that one becomes inclined to change or to remove the misery That is called kripa. So what happens? The heart melts. Huh? That is, so melting of the heart is the kripa, isn't so? If the heart does not melt, then the person will not be inclined to uh, do something to remove the misery of the miserable person. So that is the common nature. But Radharani stands out in that Radharani is the embodiment of Mahabhavana. So not only Radharani's heart, but even her body is also becomes melts by seeing the misery of the people. It's total new, correct? Kripa, in Kripa what happens? The heart melts. That's what we have heard mostly. But somebody's body also melts. Did we hear? But this is the case in Radharani. How we will understand, how we will appreciate that due to Kripa or Karuna, Radharani's body also melts. We can hardly imagine even through our intelligence. But Radharani's body is made of Mahabhava. Mahabhava is the upadan ingredient of Radharani's body is Mahabhav. So just like with the heat of the fire, if a doll made of butter, it melts, correct? In the same way, Radharani is so merciful that seeing the misery of the suffering masses, with the heat of that feeling of misery, her body also melts. The manifestation of Srimad Mahaprabhu is a manifestation of Radharani. Of course, as you know, that Radharani's manifestation was within the Braj Mandal. Nobody had access to Radharani outside Braj. But that glorious magnanimity or the most merciful nature of Radharani became manifest in the form of Mahaprabhu. How we will understand and appreciate that the divine personality of Mahaprabhu is the embodiment of mercy, and how his body also melting out of tremendous compassion towards the living entities. Because again, going to the basic principle of Kripa, what happens? Only if someone knows the misery of a miserable person, then his heart will melt, then he will bestow Kripa on him. But when Mahaprabhu assumed the sentiment or the bhava of Srimati Radharani, because then Mahaprabhu's body also started melting out of compassion, and then he did not consider who is qualified and who is not qualified, who did particular sadhana or bhajan or not. So Mahaprabhu, when manifested with the, assuming the merciful nature of Srimati Radharani, then he distributed that love of Krishna even to those who had no sadhana. General principle again is that only by doing bhajan, only by doing some bhajan sadhana, one can attain prem. This is general principle we all understand and follow. So that is a general principle without which one cannot hope to get the love, because love is so rare, and if one does not do sadhana and bhajan for that, how can he get it? First one has to do sadhana, correct? If he does sadhan, sadhu sang, anartha nivritti, then shraddha, nishtha, ruchi. This is the kram, and attaining the level of prema. Then Krishna's mercy, he becomes eligible to receive. Then ultimately attaining the supreme Bhagavad Dham ki prapti, going back to Godhead. So this is a general principle. This is a general rule. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not depend on that eligibility or that expectation. Whosoever had darshan of Mahaprabhu, he got prem, even without asking, even without hankering for it. This was a special effect of Mahaprabhu. Whosoever had darshan of Mahaprabhu, he became made in love. Is this the mercy of Krishna's Krishna's treasure house? No, this is the mercy of Radharani's treasure house. Radharani's complexion, Mahaprabhu is manifesting. So that's why you say that Mahaprabhu Sri Gauranga. Maha means Mahabhav, Swarupini Srimati Radharani. So in darshan of Mahaprabhu, we see Radharani's disposition, Radharani's rupa, how bhav, the complexion of Radharani, which Mahaprabhu is demonstrating in his manifestation. Antah Krishna Bahir Gaura. Inside he is Shyam Sundar, only Krishna. Bahir Gaura. Externally he is manifest in golden complexion of Radharani. So Mahaprabhu, Maha means Mahabhav Radharani, and Prabhu means Krishna. Mahaprabhu Sri Gauranga Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Just by looking at the complexion of Mahaprabhu, see its effect. No need of doing any sadhana. Mahaprabhu's complexion, Mahaprabhu's Angakanti, the glamour of Mahaprabhu's manifestation, disposition, his krandan. Just by looking at Mahaprabhu, the love is being bestowed upon the person. So that is the potential of Radharani's mercy, which is being distributed through Mahaprabhu. The scriptures describe that, especially Brihad Bhagavatam, Sanatana Goswami describes that one can attain love of God even without doing sadhana. The principle is described now in two occasions. Which are those two occasions? Which places? What circumstances? Yeah, so first principle of scriptures is that that divine goddess Srimati Radharani, if she bestows her darshan to someone, if someone happens to see Radharani face to face, sa radhika bhagavati kvachit ikshate chet prema tad anubhav murtiman mrityasti. This is one principle. But we know that Radharani is very rare to attain, correct? Very, very difficult. Radharani is very much protected in Braja Nikunj and surrounded by her most internal, intimate, confidential associates, Sakhis and Manjaris. You know, without the mercy, without taking shelter of the Sakhis and Manjaris of Radharani, one cannot get to attain the darshan or shelter of Radharani's lotus feet. So Radharani, to attaining the darshan and mercy of Radharani is very, very difficult directly. Then what is the second? If one is very difficult, then one has to figure out what is the second way whereby a sadhak without doing any sadhana can attain the love of Godhead. Then what is the second principle? Radharani coming out and giving darshan to anybody, just by having the darshan of Radharani, one can attain love of God. But that is very, very difficult. We hardly hear that anybody, Radharani comes out and just shows up, and it could be, but it's very rare. But something, if it is very rare, something very exceptional, it does not become the rule. We need a feasible way whereby we can attain the mercy without so much of our strength of our sadhana. So what is the second principle? Sanatana Goswami describes Krishna Chandrasya Mahavataro Tadrikam Nij Prema Vitanakari. If some great powerful incarnation of Krishna, Krishna Chandrasya Mahavatar, some Mahavatar of Krishna Chandra agrees to distribute same love. Nij Prem Vitanakari. Some Mahavatar. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Namo Mahavadanya, Mahavatar, who can distribute similar prem. What Radharani bestows through her darshan, but it is very rare. Then second, if Krishna is a Mahavatar, most Mahavatar means great avatar of Krishna, who also comes and bestows that kind of love. That's why it is said that if Krishna comes with the sentiment and the complexion of Radharani, if Krishna manifests with the sentiment and complexion of Radharani, that Mahavatar, and if one has darshan of that Mahavatar, then he will also attain prem. So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself coming with the complexion and sentiment of Srimati Radharani. So anybody who sees Mahaprabhu, so Mahaprabhu is easiest accessibility of Radharani, who is so rare to attain. So Radharani made easily accessible in Mahaprabhu for all of us. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the Mahavatar of Krishna with the complexion and sentiment of Srimati Radharani. Correct? So the mercy is dependent on the will of Krishna, but sometimes Krishna finds himself in such circumstance that because in order to bestow mercy, one has to agree. One's intelligence has to agree, yes, oh, this person deserves the mercy or whatever. But when Krishna comes as Mahaprabhu, he knows that he will be overwhelmed by the sentiment of Srimati Radharani. So he won't be having, when a person becomes absorbed or overwhelmed, you cannot expect him to make intelligent decisions. So To bestow mercy, one has to intelligently agree, correct? If Krishna, in order to bestow mercy, Krishna has to agree to bestow mercy or not. But when Krishna is in a mood of Srimati Radharani, he's not in control. He's not controlling his intelligence rather. So he cannot be expected to be merciful, So what he did then, he just gave full freedom to mercy, to his Karuna Shakti. Kripa is also one Shakti, one potency of Krishna. So Krishna, he said, "Oh Karune, listen, I won't have time to figure out who to bestow mercy or not. So you just take the command. Whosoever you want, you can bestow the mercy of love of Godhead." Mm, So when Mahaprabhu came to with a desire to bestow the love of God to the whole world, he just distributed without discrimination who is qualified, who is not qualified. Everyone was given, because then that Karuna Shakti became independent, and without waiting for the sanction of the Lord, um, that mercy of love of God was distributed to all. Mm, Correct? So there is one demonstration in South India when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling. People were just crowding, throngs of people after Mahaprabhu's complexion with chanting and everybody. So all the Pandits and Tarkiks and followers of different traditions of religiosity, the Brahmins especially, they found that this young sannyasi has come to our village and town in our area, and people are just becoming his followers. We are losing our bread and butter. His influence is getting too big, and we will lose our livelihood, because people will not listen to us, and if they don't think that we are needed anymore, then we will lose our livelihood. So they plotted, they decided that we will circle Mahaprabhu and just try to argue him out and just get rid of him, make him run away from here. Of course, Mahaprabhu, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he came to deliver all, most fallen and sinful and even aparadhis. So Mahaprabhu, where he was sitting in one place, and he was just chanting Krishna's name with eyes filled with tears, and crying, "How Krishna, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna." Mm. And they came with the intention to get rid of him, to run him away. Mm. But they found that he's just chanting Krishna's name and very emotionally. So one of the Pandits told another fellow, mm, "So why don't you say what we came here for? We came here for to just make some argument with him, and just unitedly we will just defeat him and just run away. He will run away like that." But when they saw Mahaprabhu in that crying and Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna, crying, and profusely the tears coming from his eyes. So in that condition, they became so stunned. The person is telling, "How can I speak to him? He's crying. Let his crying subside. Let him stop crying. Then we can just argue." But Mahaprabhu is such loving emotion. He's just chanting Krishna's name with tears in his eyes, and it's like his whole body as if melting out of compassion. And all the Tarkiks and the Pandits and Brahmins, when they saw Mahaprabhu in that mood, they also just started praying to Mahaprabhu. "Mahaprabhu, we also want to cry. Please make us cry, make us cry." Mm. Please be merciful upon us. So they gave up their all ill intentions, and then they bowed down to the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. Be merciful, O Sannyasi Thakur. Be merciful, O be merciful. We also wish to be able to chant Hare Krishna, and cry. Please. So what mercy they ask? They think that they become so enchanted by Mahaprabhu's divine persona. They say, we also wish to be able to chant Krishna name with crying. So Mahaprabhu is seeing that everybody has become devotee. So when Mahaprabhu came to external consciousness, he found that he was not surrounded by the people who would oppose him, but rather they have all become devotees. They have all become Vaishnavas. So that was the effect of Mahaprabhu. No? So that is the mercy of Radharani actually. Only when Krishna came in the mood and complexion of Radharani, he was able to demonstrate that mercy, which is the merciful nature of Srimati Radharani. So it is the Radharani's kripa being manifest to Mahaprabhu. And today being Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day, we remember the ultimate glory of, or appreciate the ultimate glory of Mahaprabhu, that he came to bestow Sri Radha Dashyam upon all of us. And if we truly want to do some justice to our participation in the glorification of Mahaprabhu, at least collectively and wholeheartedly, we can also at least start to aspire, to hanker, to attain the maid servanthood, Kainkaryatva of Srimati Radharani. That would be the perfect glorification of Mahaprabhu for his pleasure. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. I think yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you everyone for your kind participation. If somebody would like to say something, add something, ask something, many things we wish to share, but still many things are left out. We want to cover the three basic foundational teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in practical behavior, Jive Daya, Name Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva. So Mahaprabhu, for the sadhakas, in the general behavior, he established the principle of Jive Daya in Vaishnava Seva. Jiva and Vaishnava, in identity, both are Krishna's servant, but one is called Jiva. So one who is not awakened to his Swarup is the eternal servant of Krishna. He is called Jiva. Once the living entity, conditioned soul, is awakened to his identity as the eternal servant of Krishna, he is called Vaishnava. So when a sadhaka, after taking initiation by surrendering himself to the lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master, and under his guidance, when he starts doing Nam Bhajana, he is called Vaishnava. So all the Vaishnavas who have accepted, who have come on this path of pure devotional service, they are worshipable. Before they come to that status, they are called jivas. Jive daya. Jive daya, Mahaprabhu said that we should be always merciful towards the living entities who have not yet come on the path of pure devotional service. But once anybody has joined the path of pure devotional service, he is called Vaishnava. So Vaishnava is worshipable, but living entities, he is he's worthy to be shown mercy. Correct? So my question is, who is the beneficiary of each? So when somebody does seva to a Vaishnava, who is the beneficiary? I'm asking the question to you. And when one is showing daya, or daya means mercy to the common mass conditioned soul, who is the beneficiary? Anyone would try to say? Is the question clear? When you serve a Vaishnava, the spiritual master, Krishna, anyone who is worshipable. That's why Mahaprabhu says, Jive Vaishnava Seva. Seva means we serve those who are worshipable, those who are worthy of our worship. So when we do this, who is the beneficiary? This is my first question. And when we do daya or show merciful help,
The one who does seva or serves the Vaishnava.
okay, and when we show mercy or help to the needy people, feeding the hungry, giving them clothes, shelter, different things, medicine, and all these things, then who is the beneficiary?
One who is showing the mercy, who is helping the
One who receives the pipa, he is the beneficiary, correct? If you feed the hungry, the person who is hungry, he is the beneficiary, correct? So when a person serves his parents, serves the Guru Vargas, serves Krishna or the Vaishnavas, who is the beneficiary? He himself is the beneficiary.
Yes.
It is not that we are doing a favor to a Vaishnava, we are doing favor to Guru, we are doing a favor to our parents by serving them.
Right.
No, we are doing a favor to ourselves because we are the beneficiary.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes.
But when we help others, showing them, fulfilling their some needs, then they are the beneficiary, like this. So what is the ultimate nature of Jive Daya? To cause, to bring them to appreciate the necessity of Krishna consciousness, to induce them to adopt this process of pure devotional service, to make them at least practicing devotee. That is the real mercy, correct? Apart from feeding them if they are hungry, or giving them clothes, giving them medicine, taking care of their bodily needs is fine. If one has a lot of facility and somebody is in need, it should be. But ultimate Jive Daya is to to make them Krishna conscious, correct? Because only when one becomes Krishna conscious, he becomes eligible to become free from the clutches of all the papas, all the prarabdha, all the miseries, you know. Because without becoming Krishna conscious, without following the path of Krishna consciousness, one cannot free oneself from the entanglement of this material existence since eternity. So whosoever causes adopting Krishna consciousness sadhana in our life, they have done the real Jiva Daya upon us. So once a living entity or conditioned soul becomes initiated under the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, he is no more called Jiva. He is called Vaishnava. You know. And whosoever serves that Vaishnava, he benefits. All right. So in the name of Jiva Daya, people become attached to that. One should become attached to Vaishnava Seva. And Vaishnava Seva opens the door for liberation, opens the door for attaining the lotus feet of Sri Radha Krishna. If one becomes attached to the living entity of jivas who are conditioned souls, like Bharat Maharaj, although he was a very, very advanced stage in his performance of sadhana, but because of lack of association of Sajatiya Bhakta, he was alone in the jungle, you know. And somehow, in the name of showing Jive Daya or mercy to the living entity, he became too involved in affection for the dear baby, huh? And then he became entangled, and then he had to take birth again as a deer and so forth, like that. But one who becomes attached to the service of a Vaishnava or the spiritual master, then attachment to a Vaishnava or devotee opens his door for the supreme abode, like that. Because no matter how much help we can give to others on material platform, you know, nobody is capable by any means to change the prarabdha or the destiny of the living entity. One has to reap the fruit of his previous karma in prarabdha. We cannot change it. Nobody has the strength, however greatly generous one might be. For the time being, we can remove apparently his needs or fulfill his needs, but his prarabdha, whatever quota of his misery, we do not have the capacity. So the best way is to connect them to the permanent solution of their unlimited prarabdha sanskara. Aprarabdha kritam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham kramena praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. Somehow to cause their to accept Krishna consciousness. That would be the highest Jividaya. Hare Krishna. All right.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru, Pranam. Shri
Hare
Guru,
Krishna. Welcome.
Every time you speak, it's like you make us drown in divine nectar, and time comes to a standstill, and it's not enough to listen to you only once or twice a week. So I have a question, please.
Yes, welcome.
I wonder, now you also brought this example, if we serve the spiritual master, if we do devotional service, we are the ones who benefit. But we want to come to a stage where we can offer service selflessly without having in mind our own profit. So how can I serve selflessly?
Well, that whether you desire or not, you become the beneficiary to attain love of God. Sa eva sadhushu kritam moksha dwaram pavritam. So if the door for liberation or door to enter Golok, Gokul, Vrindavan opens for you, you will say no. Oh, I don't desire anything. But that is the that is the effect. Because one becomes beneficiary, so that is the benefit. Would you deny that if it comes on its own accord? Bhagavatam says that sa eva sadhushu kritaho moksha dvaram apavritam. The door for liberation. Liberation for us, liberation means moksha means attaining the supreme, going back to Godhead. So if the going back to Godhead fortune comes your way, and you will say, "Get out! I don't want anything." That is the beneficiary. No other motive. So, and to attain pure devotional service, why we serve the spiritual master, why we serve. The scripture says, Sri Guru Charane Rati, Aise Uttama Gati. One gets the highest destination of attaining Sri Radha Dashyam. That is the beneficiary. Now you can agree?
Thank you, Shri Guru.
Sri Guru Charane Rati, Aise Uttama Gati, Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. What is your aspiration? That's why last month we discussed this. Don't we have aspiration? Still you want to become selfless?
You
You know? So Bhagavatam describes, Krishna says, Madarpanam Nishphalam Va. That is slok number, I think, 11th canto, 25th chapter, and slok number 23. The Krishna says, Madarpanam, even Nishphalam Va, without desiring anything for oneself. Nishphala means without any expectation. If one sacrifices everything to Krishna, what kind of, in which mode this action is? Madarpanam, Krishna says, one who sacrifices to me or gives me without desiring anything in return. There are four modes. Nirgun means transcendental, mode of goodness, mode of patience, mode of ignorance. So which mode this action is? Krishna says to Uddhavji, Madarpanam, Mad means to me, unto me. Arpanam means sacrificing. If you have money, if you have wealth or prestige, whatever, time, if you sacrifice and give to Krishna without desiring anything in return, that's the meaning. Madarpanam nishphalam va satvikam satvikam karma yat. Then if you desire something for yourself, that is in mode of passion. In work perform for troubles, that is in mode of ignorance. But if the work done to desire for me, mat prityartham, for the pleasure of Krishna, mat prityartham, mat kamartham, desiring for me or for my satisfaction, or priti means love, is called nirgunam. So we don't have to become so much attached to selfless work. Correct? Our motivation is to bring joy to Krishna, bring joy to Srimati Radharani. All right? So serving the Vaishnavas, serving to the spiritual master, they bring joy to Krishna. Krishna says, Mad Bhakta Pujyabhidika. So Uddhavji says that the worship of my devotee is more pleasing to me than my own worship. So these are the benefits which we must aspire. Should we not aspire anything that will please Krishna, that will please Radharani? We should not be so attached to our selfless service. Ours is the most motivated service. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. Anya bhilashita, Rupa Goswami says, Anya, other than favorably serving and pleasing, bringing joy to Krishna. Other than that, they have to be discarded. So if we have even selfless service mood, that should be discarded in favor of bringing joy to Krishna. Krishna, I'm not interested in anything, even your joy, your satisfaction. I'm totally selfless. So that is only in mode of goodness. A person in the mode of goodness thinks he's doing the best. He knows he's happy. He is in knowledge. Then he becomes stuck here. So those who are very much attached to the concept of selfless service, they are stuck only in this material world. Comparatively, they think they are better off being in a mode of goodness. We are selfless. We are with the highest interest of the self. And the highest interest of the self is to desire the joy and satisfaction of the divine couple. All right?
Yes, thank you, Shri Guru. Hare Krishna, Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Say Swami Nivatiyas. So these are the subtle points of pure Krishna consciousness, and because during our upbringing, not only in our family background, but also in our progressiveness in the spiritual culture, we naturally find very attractive something better than the others, But our attraction should be, our interest should be, our motivation should be only to bring joy to the divine couple. Other than this, anya abhilasha shunyam, we become free from completely devoid of any other desire, any other aspiration, including selfless service. What is there for Krishna in selfless service? Batao. Oh, I'm so detached, I do selfless service. But our attachment should be for the joy of Krishna and the divine couple. That's a better choice, correct? Okay, go. Let's go for the better. And the better has to be the best. Correct?
Yes, Sri
Because,
Guru.
because if we have sorted out even the selfless service, now something has to be the best. Because selfless service is very much glorified in the general society. So we have to transcend even the best of the standard of general society, transcending the even selfless service mood, attaching to the joy and pleasure of the divine couple. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. So 11, 25, 23 you can see. Okay. Actually, in that whole chapter, everything Krishna is described in the four modes: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and also mode of transcendence, nirgunam. Like kaivalyam, satvikam, jnanam, rajo, vaikalpikam chayat, prakritam, tamasam, jnanam, man nishtam, nirgunam smritit. Only in this karma, Krishna is describing only three: selfless work, work with some desire for expectation, some expectation, then work which is harmful to others and oneself, mode of. Now the fourth we have to contemplate what is the nirgun work. Any action which is which will bring joy to Krishna, will bring joy to the spiritual master, will bring joy to the Vaishnavas, and that will open our going back to Godhead door. Hare Krishna. Kirtaniya Sada Hari.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Shri Guru.
Hare Krishna. Oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Beautiful Shri Guru. The way you explained the mercy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, how how magnanimous he is, how merciful he is, and how he is the embodiment of the mercy of Srimati Radharani. But Shri Guru, for us, you are even more magnanimous than Mahaprabhu, because for us you are Gaur Kripamurti. We have never met Mahaprabhu, and without you we can never become recipient of his magnanimity. It is only you that we have gotten this opportunity, that we can get this opportunity to receive this magnanimity of Mahaprabhu, to practice this Manjari Bhav. Without you, I personally had no hope, Shri Guru. I could not even imagine in my wildest dreams that this is something, and I can, I would want to walk on this path. I would never imagine. But then you came, Shri Guru, and by your causeless mercy, you give us everything. And causeless because we have no qualification. You are just giving it out of your love. As you mentioned, Mahaprabhu, like very, very kind king, who gives presents freely. Exactly like that, Shri Guru, because we have done nothing to deserve it, and still giving it to us. Hare Krishna, Shri Guru. Pranam.
Well, Mahaprabhu's mercy is flowing, and it wants to reach out to every corner of this universe. And one who identifies that mercy with whosoever, then one feels like that. Because Mahaprabhu's mercy and the instrument of mercy is non different from Mahaprabhu. No? There is no duality. So when we develop the non-dual vision, then everything appears as non-different, non-separated. Correct. So the effect is the same. But Mahaprabhu personally came to give, and if we can identify the avenue of that mercy in our life, we reach the same destination, correct? So it's not that we are bereft uh, of direct mercy of Mahaprabhu. You know. Direct mercy means which is directly perceived. So those who were present during the time of Mahaprabhu, they perceive Mahaprabhu's mercy in his person. In our life, we can identify Mahaprabhu's mercy through the avenue, through his agents, correct? Don't we value the agent of the king? Don't we honor the agent of the king same as the king? Rather, he is our king. If we have any doubtful or complaining nature towards the agent, then we are seeing him in duality, correct? As if the king is different and his agent is different. They are both have the same mission, correct? So the unity of the mission matters. No? So then we value the agent the same value as the king. Because that is his arrangement. No? If we love the king, if we love the Lord, then we must also honor and love his system. He has come to bestow the same mercy. He has made the arrangement for the same mercy which he personally brought through his advent for the whole generations to come. It's up to the person how personally and how subjectively one perceives it. So it is not just words of even if we hear the appreciation of others, such a pure appreciation can be one's individual, one's own, subjective. We have to see the non-duality of Mahaprabhu and his flow of mercy. Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Shri Guru.
Hare
Fascinating,
Krishna.
Shri Guru. Shri Guru, we hear from devotees and raised into this culture, introduced into this culture of Krishna consciousness, so many Vaishnava songs. One song comes to mind, Shri Guru, Yadi Gaur na hoite, tabe ki hoite, kemone dharitam de, Radhara Mahima Prema Rasa Sima, Jagate Janate ke. Personally, Shri Guru, even though by your blessings introduced into Krishna consciousness, but I cannot say that how would I sustain and all. I know nothing, Shri Guru. But this much, yes, यदि श्रीगुरु न होते तबे की होते श्रीगुरु. Now we realize Shri-Guru and understand, wow, if you had not appeared in Shri-Guru in my life, any iota of Krishna consciousness I would not have practiced or whatever, and nothing would have come to the surface, Shri-Guru. Nothing would have come. Koti Koti Pranam, Shri-Guru. You're the complete package of the message of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu's mood, his mission, his mercy, his message, and everything, Shri Guru, the personified embodiment of the mercy of Mahaprabhu, Shri Guru.
So realization is subjective, and this realization one shares and appreciates in confidence, and eventually, because it is the same substance, that's why it's the principle, no? The mercy of Mahaprabhu, mercy of Krishna, mercy of Radharani. So the mercy manifestation in person, that is the Sri Guru Tattva. And in whosoever one finds his or feels subjectively, that matters, and it's the secret of success to find one's connection of the mercy of Mahaprabhu in that way. So Mahaprabhu's mercy is a direct manifestation. So one who thinks that mercy of Mahaprabhu is not available now, he does not understand the unlimited nature of Mahaprabhu's mercy. If it is unlimited, how can there can be any dearth, any shortage of that mercy? It is fully available in every generation, all the times. One has to feel that connection which is available. So until one feels it personally, one cannot get it through proxy. One has to feel oneself. Then one will go all the way. Because the revelation or the personal experience that's what one own. One can keep. Others come and go, So we have to feel that blessed. Then nothing can dislodge us. Nobody can block us, nobody can deprive us. Nobody can pull us down. Because we got the absolute direction and we have been blessed with the inner vision of our ultimate destination and our hankering through the external vision to reach there. First, we contemplate about our destination with our inner vision, means with the eye of our consciousness, antahkaran. And what we have been contemplating within our mind, through our intelligence, focus, and consciousness, then we hanker to come face to face with eye-to-eye vision with the object of our aspiration. Correct? So when the Goswamis were wandering in Vrindavan, demonstrating, calling upon Srimati Radharani, Krishna and others, their inner consciousness was already targeted there. Now they were hankering to be able to see them face to face. So we got the absolute direction. We can contemplate the absolute destination of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. And now we can hanker that we get some indication where they will become manifest and we will be able to see them face eye to eye, personally. So with that motivation in life, we continue as long as Krishna allows us to survive in this present body, which is very useful to capture and sustain that mood of becoming eventually a choicest maid servant of Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Words can never glorify your magnanimity, Shri Guru. And so, thank you so much, Shri Guru, for causing this fascination into Krishna consciousness amongst all of us, Shri Guru, overall. Pray that wholeheartedly we love and serve you throughout and throughout more and more. With this desire, hope, aspiration, we all chant minimum 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra with all our heart, love and soul for the pleasure of our Shri Guru. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Chant from the core of our hearts. परम पूज्य भक्ति स्वरूप गोविंद महाराज की जय.
जय
Nitai Gaur
जय
Bhatta.
जय गुरुदेव, जय जय गुरुदेव.
Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Hari.
हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम गुरुदेव.
Hare Krishna, welcome Sri Swamini Matirastu Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
प्रणाम श्री गुरु.
Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay, we'll see you in 1 hour. Exactly 1 hour, okay? In Kirtan. Gaur Premanande.